So the engine initially started right up, and I've run it a total of 3 times. The third time, it blew the head gasket. Now, this is the first head gasket that I made for it, and you can see where it's blown here, here, and here, and here. So it's really pushing this thing out bad. So I made another gasket for it, and I bolted it in there. Bolted the head up, torqued the nuts, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but out here it's clamping fine. You can see the telltale marks here that the head leaves around most of the perimeter, but in here there's no marks at all. And I bolted this up and would turn over the engine by hand, and I could hear it leaking into the water hopper. So it's leaking from the combustion area here into this water hole here, and I can hear it in the hopper. And on the third run, I could hear it hissing into the hopper, so I knew I had a problem. So made another gasket, bolted it on there, thinking, well, maybe it was my gasket or something. Bolted it on there without any gasket compound. This is Permatex that's on here. And just bolted it up, tightened it up. It's still leaking compression into the water hopper. So back apart we come again. And I've since made a third gasket here. And I thought, well, the head has been repaired. It's got a weld here, and I believe over here. Somebody's done a great job welding it up, but you know, when you weld on something like this, sometimes you warp it. So let me set up here for a measurement. So I've got a straight edge here, used just to measure decks and heads with. I can set this on here, and long story short, I've got a 3/1000 gauge here. And it will slip in here in the combustion area. Won't over here. I turn around this way. No. No. Turn it this way. No. No. Bring it around here a little more. No. No. Bring it around here. Yes, I've got 3/1000 there. I can feel this. It's dragging just a little bit. Of course, it won't go there. It won't go over here anywhere. But it'll slip in there very easily. Thought I was going to, there you go. I'm holding down on it here with my index finger and able to slip it in. So I've got a low spot there, but it's only 3/1000. Typically, a gasket can take up that amount. So let's go over and look at the deck. So here we are over at the deck here, the block, same straight edge, machined edge. Let me lay it on top of the studs there. Push on it. This is a 8/1000 feeler gauge. I've already been through this. That 8/1000 goes underneath the straight edge. I'm putting pressure on with my thumb. Of course, it won't go through out here at the edge, out here, but it goes through here and then goes through over here. So let's set it up here. Push on it. I may get in your way here. 8/1000 goes under there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right there. There. Over here. But it doesn't go through out here at the outer edges. So this is 8/1000 lower than it is out here. So naturally, that gasket is not gonna seal. You take 8 here plus the 3 over there, that's 11 thousandths thickness that I've got to make up here. So basically at this point, this block is scrap iron. Possibly everything I've done up to this point has been for naught. Now, the proper way to fix it would be this hopper unbolts off of there. Fortunately, it'll come off. These studs probably have to be heated. Hopefully you could get those out without any damage. And then send this off to a machine shop that's got a machine big enough to reface this deck surface and get it square. So that's a possibility. But at this point, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I've been thinking about some possible fixes. I'm kind of thinking I may make up a composite head gasket and make this part thicker than this part, and then use some real good sealer on it and try to get it sealed up. Fortunately, these old engines are low compression, and you know, it won't take the best head gasket in the world to hold, but I've got to have a closer fit than 11 thousandths difference between this surface and this surface. So that's where we're at. Kind of step backwards here, and I'll bring you back when I come up with something. But at this point, I think I'm going to sleep on it, weigh my options, see what's available. Being this is an old 120-year-old engine, I'm going to try to come up with a farmer's fix to start with. Don't have much to lose. It doesn't take much to get the head on and off of here. So stay tuned. Okay, here's what I've come up with. I took some 30 thousandths thick asbestos gasket material, cut a ring to fit on here. Let me show you after I got it glued up over here. I'm letting it dry. This is just a little bit thicker ring on the inside that's going to seal around the combustion area. And then on the outside, I'm going to put some sealer on here. And I've had it bolted up and it seems to seal. So I'm going to put a little more sealer on it here. And with this thicker portion of the gasket here, hopefully that'll fix it. Seems to seal right now. So I'll put this gasket sealer on it. Just some good old-fashioned gasket shellac. I used this stuff to start with, form a gasket, aviation stuff. I use that on a lot of gaskets. This was recommended. This is made by the same people, but it's gasket shellac, and it's supposed to get hard and really hold a gasket really well. So we're going to try it, and go ahead and get her back together, and we'll see what we come up with. But the difference in thicknesses here is why I want to use some good sealer on this, and I'll probably use some ultra black out here around the holes just to make sure if this is not pinched out here tightly, this gasket maker out here will take up the space. So that's the plan. We'll get her together, bring you back. Okay, I've been working off camera quite a bit here the last couple of days. I've gotten now several runs on the engine. Sum it up what I did to the gasket. Here's one of the other gaskets I made. Basically took a thicker part, a thicker gasket, 30 thousandths, glued it to the inside here, just inside of the head studs. So this part here is 30 thousandths thicker than the rest of the gasket. Used gasket shellac on that part to get a good seal on the metal parts. And then on the outside here, I took RTV and just circled the head bolts so that the water couldn't penetrate out here. I don't have any problem sealing on the inside now with the Permatex gasket shellac. And out here I used RTV And so far, it's holding up just fine. You probably can't see it in the camera, but all the way around here on this gap here between the block and the head, I've got a good squeeze out of RTV. So I know I've got a good water seal there. And on the inside, I know I've got a good seal on compression. So a matter of a couple of different sealers and a couple of different thicknesses here, I have managed to seal the head to the block, and it seems to be holding for now. We will see. That's the old farmer's fix. Try to come up with something as simple and cheap as you can. And if it works, fine, use it. If it doesn't, then we'll have to take the engine apart again some other time and have it machined. So, I just wanted to prove to myself and to you that this can be done. You can handle things like this. It took me a little bit to figure out what I was going to do, but I went ahead and give it a shot, and it's got several runs on it now. And when I bring you back here the next time, we'll fire it up and let you watch it run, and we'll wrap up this series. So I'm thankful that you followed along this far, and hope you appreciated what I'm trying to do here. And we'll just keep going. The engine runs great. We've been able to get it slowed down pretty well, and so I think it's going to make a good engine. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for following along with this series, and we'll finish up here with some running video. Well, through all this, are you still with me? Let's fire this thing up. I'm sure you're as curious to hear it run as I was. So we'll get her going here. Let's check fuel. I got my little dipstick here. Looks like we've got about a third of a tank of fuel. Got the tank mounted up, and so we're good there. I'll take you around here and show you how we prime it. Okay, we're over here at the mixer, and I did find another valve. Got it put on here. This little piece of tubing goes in here, and you open this up and you run fuel in until it runs out this hole. There it comes right there. Now we've got fuel, we're primed. We've got a little bit of fuel in the cup. Let's go around and turn the battery on and see if it'll fire. Well, we don't have a battery box mounted on the cart yet, so I've got this temporary setup here. We'll flip that on. I've got just clip leads hooked up. Got a coil in here and a battery. It's a 12-volt battery, so I use a ballast resistor to drop it down. And I'll get you set up for the start here. Hadn't been started for about a week now. Well, I've oiled all the moving parts. I'm just going to pump a little bit into the oiler here for the cylinder. All the moving parts have been oiled. Ignition's on. She's a-wanting to. Let's run just a little bit more fuel in it. Okay. Takes a little bit to get her primed up here. Cutting a little fuel to it. I got too much on it. There we go. Now it's starting to get happy. Okay, guys. Again, I appreciate you watching. And stay tuned for more videos. I don't know what's next. Never know what's going to come into the shop to work on next. So we'll keep going. And look for me on the next one. Thanks for watching.